you go first.
Revelio.
Ooh. All right, give me a spell to try.
Lumos.
Lumos! Oh, no! What's up, everybody? It is 2024, and we have almost burnt the studio down already. Welcome to Hardly Working, the show about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm SP.
And I'm Kelly. Witch Kelly.
Ooh.
As in a witch, not which one am I? As in
Which witch are you? The one who almost lit our studio
that was
on fire?
you.
I did, yeah. If you're watching the
I
video
was
version.
in control.
Yeah, you always are. Cool and calm. And then there's me, who's lighting stuff on fire. Anyway, welcome back. It's nice to be back in a normal episode. I was doing the intro. I was like, do I remember how to do this? Or do I only know Hardly Holidays?
That one.
Do you have a good time doing Hardly Holidays?
I did have a good time doing Hardly Holidays. And I think, and I hope other people enjoyed listening, watching, seeing us.
Who knows?
Hearing us.
I will say this, though. A lot of people jumped on our lists of the year.
That's great.
A lot of people liked and watched and listened to,
So great.
especially the in memoriam as we looked back on people.
Makes sense, yeah.
Also the most Googled celebrities, lots and lots of stuff. And hopefully you had fun playing the games with us too.
Yeah.
I had a great time with the games.
I had a great time. You did a great job putting it together.
Thank you. That's what I needed.
But here we are, 2024, back and at it, baby.
Coming at you in your ear holes and eyeballs for about an hour of hardly working goodness.
Yeah, and there's been a lot that's happened since we've had a normal podcast.
So much. Anything worth mentioning? I've got some on my list, but anything comes to mind?
I mean, I finished out the year with my events that I had.
Yeah.
Got a pretty big tip at my last one, which was pretty cool.
Ooh.
It's a fun little thing that we kind of do, but not really, is anytime one of us gets a tip, we'll be like, I got this tip, but beat your last one, or like close, something like that. And then we'll always throw it into a pot and be like, anytime we want to go out, we'll just grab this tip money, because why not?
Yeah. I don't remember ever doing any of that.
You always come up and you're like, I got $100.
And then what do I do with that?
It's for you.
I'd give it to you.
Yeah, but then I got tipped like something and you're like, ooh, that's more than what I got. And then you got tipped more. And then this time I got tipped more than I've ever been tipped. I think more than you've ever been tipped.
$17,000.
Yeah, no,
She
I
got
wish.
tipped seven. No.
That'd be cool.
Hundreds, though.
Yeah, it was
dollars.
crazy.
Very
it was so
cool.
kind, so
Very
nice.
sweet.
But it was a great last event for us.
Yeah. And that means you rocked it.
Yeah.
Not only that, but the next day they were like, hey, where can I write a review about you?
That's true. They
So
were like, it
that's
was
how
the
you know
highlight.
you really killed it.
Yeah. That's true. It was exciting.
It's a good gerb.
Thank you. Brooklyn is texting now, which is so fun and
We
so
talked
great.
about it on our top knots.
Yes,
Yeah.
a little bit. But we didn't talk about is that she doesn't quite know the etiquette for texting yet.
It's true.
And we haven't quite put ourselves in a group chat with her, because I like that we have individual chats with her. And I think if we do a group chat, that's all she'll text us in, unfortunately.
Yeah, I like being individual. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that we already share it anyway, because she'll text you and I'll be like, look what she just said, or whatever, vice versa. But she is doing the thing where she'll text you or me, and if we don't respond, look, she texts me and I don't respond like immediately, she'll text you and be like, tell mom to look at her page.
Yeah. Which is what she calls text,
Yeah,
I guess.
pages. But it's just so funny because I'm like, I got it. I
Yeah.
just need to read it. I need to read the text box you sent me, the paragraph you sent me, before I can like just respond.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's pretty awesome.
We're heading into a busy January.
We are.
For me, at
It's
least.
true. I'm busy too, just not in the ways that I'm usually
towards the
busy.
end.
Yeah. Well, but I also got classes, all sorts of
Oh, that's
stuff. We'll
true.
talk about that later. We had Christmas though.
Oh, we did have Christmas.
Many, many
Duh.
Christmases, because we never talked about our Christmas on Hardly Holidays. Because for most of it hadn't happened
Hadn't happened,
yet.
yeah. But yeah, we did Christmas.
We did Christmas on Saturday the 23rd with B.
Yeah, which is weird. We know.
Yeah, it's weird. But
It was so fun.
it's a long story that's not worth getting into. But it was awesome.
It took us 4 hours to open up gifts, which was really fun. Intentionally, because we would stop and like play with stuff or open up something. Or,
What do you think Brooklyn's favorite gift from our house was this year?
I would say she has two close. It would be the Furby that she didn't think she was getting in our house that she got.
Oh
and
my gosh, this Furby.
the cookie makery squishies, that smell. You like make something and then it pops up.
Which was just a gimmick, basically.
Yeah. She loved it. She kept it.
Yeah.
I
Well, one
ruined
of
the
them.
second one accident, but it's okay. But both of those, she took them. Well, she didn't take the Furby with her because she was pretty confident she was getting a Furby at her other house for Christmas, which she was right, because she did. But she did take her cookie makeries. There was a puppy and a bunny. She took them. I think she really liked those the best. I can't remember what else she got. There were a couple smaller things that she was like I got her a foldable brush that she can take to school. That's like a brush. You girls know it's like a brush.
Yeah.
You close it and it has a mirror and it makes it like to a
It's
compact.
like a sea urchin.
She was like, "What is this?" And then I opened it up and she went, "Oh, you got me one." Because like one of her friends at school has one and she really wanted one. It was just so funny. Like little things like that.
Yeah, nice. Some of my favorite gifts, I'm wearing one of them right now. A very cool, somewhere between coat and long sleeve shirt from my wife.
Yeah.
But also I got in my stocking a little set, only about 4 inches across with 4 little tiny Funko Pops in there. They will come here and live in the studio at some point
Yeah, we
as
have
we redesign.
them. Oh, no, they're at home.
No, we left them at home because there was even more stuff that was coming over.
Yeah.
But those are really cute. They're Batman 66, Batman, the Riddler, Penguin, and Batgirl. No Robin, oddly enough. But very cute, very fun. What was anything stick out for you?
Funny. Wait, what do you think Brooklyn's favorite gift was?
I think it was the ones that you were mentioning. What was the cooking one in the oven?
Cookie Makery.
Yeah, I don't really know what that was, but honestly, hard to beat the Furby. She freaking loved the Furby.
Yeah. There were a couple other things that she really liked. Oh, she got a bow and arrow set that she freaking loved from her brother.
we spent a whole night being Merida.
Yeah.
The whole family
I
was
was
shooting
Katniss.
arrows.
She was Merida. Yeah.
And I was trying not to give too many tips.
Yeah. Because Brooklyn was like, I got it.
I got it.
But that was really fun. Some favorite gifts of mine. I'm wearing one of them too. My mom and dad got me this really cute Lululemon sweater thing. I feel like a snow bunny and so cute in it. And it's so warm. So that was one of my faves. And you got me a ton of stuff. You got me a ton of makeup stuff that I was very excited about. A YSL lipstick, some face mist and sprays, a Lush bin that is also a music box. So when you flip it or when you like spin it, it sings to you. But it's my pillow spray because I am
bougie.
that girl. Anything that helps me sleep, I want it.
I get it.
Melatonin. You got me magnesium, like drinking stuff to help you.
Oh, you don't have
calm
to go through all
down.
the little things I've gotten you,
But it was mostly about sleep because I wanted to sleep better and my fuzzy socks.
well, and there's one gift that you have been raving about.
My slippers.
Yes.
Yeah. His mom got me slippers. Every year it's a thing. And she's like, "Are you sure it's what you want?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's what I want."
It was truly out with the old and in with the new. She threw away the other ones.
They were, yeah.
She's like, "These are the ones I wanted from 3 years ago."
They're perfect.
They're
the ones I got.
perfect.
They're
I
so
know, I'm
beautiful.
happy for you. But a good holiday season for us. Not
Yeah.
too crazy. A little bit of sickness going around with I had a
I
cold
got the stomach flu.
since like the 10th of last month, and then Kelly
Yeah.
got the stomach flu. So it was a little bit interesting as we got closer and closer to the holidays, but we worked it out.
Yeah, but I will say this, and I know we talked about the stomach flu on our top knots, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise because we had to make a few more trips to like the grocery store and things like that after that, and I was pretty confident about going inside because I was like, what could I possibly outside of COVID?
What can I get?
I was like, what could I possibly get? Because the stomach flu was going around for a ton of people, and you in Brooklyn didn't get it, which was a miracle in and of itself.
good.
But I was like, yeah,
Feel
I can
very
do this.
grateful.
I just got sick. My immune system's strong. I don't know if that's how it works.
Who knows?
But anyway, that was Christmas.
One other thing worth mentioning before we jump into the show proper, the last 2 days Kelly and I have had basically by ourselves. And while we didn't take did I say the last few days? I don't know how to say this. We didn't take a vacation in 2023.
Yeah,
we
took
talked a little
trip,
bit, but we didn't really get some time away. But a couple days ago, we just had a few days just by ourselves, and we didn't leave. I don't think we even left the house,
No.
but we were doing crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
And then we found some old Xbox games. It's
Yeah.
called Zuma and Zuma's Revenge.
So fun.
It's literally a game where you're a little frog in the center of a game, and you shoot colored marbles to make matches of 3 or higher.
Which
to
is
delete them, explode,
yeah,
whatever.
which is really great for my colorblind co-host and husband who cannot see the colors.
It was not easy, and then we discovered that there's a colorblind
It was
mode,
perfect.
and it became a lot easier.
Which is still pretty hard because the colors are pretty similar to each other still.
Yeah, some of them are tough.
Yeah.
But just kind of feeling like we went back in time. We weren't obsessed with email and phone and who can get a hold of us. It was a really nice 2 days.
It was really
I mean,
great.
I say 2 days. It was really 24 hours, but
It's been great.
It's been awesome. And we got big plans for 2024.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. And we'll get into some of that stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I do want to say this because we're talking about Christmas, all that stuff. I do want to shout out. So we do something called Sweeney Christmas
I'm
every
so
year,
glad
which is
you're
with
doing this,
my
yeah.
family. And a long time ago, my mom and dad, we still exchange presents kind of. It's gotten less and less over the years, as it should. We're all older. But we do games for gift cards. So we each give like a certain amount of gift cards every year. This year it was like 6 gift cards with a certain value each per each person. And you play games, and whoever wins the game gets to pick a number. They win a gift card. There's certain fun things in the back of the envelope. It's very fun. But my brother Sean introduced a new game, which if anybody knows us, knows that we enjoy watching GMM or Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link. My brother likes watching it as well. He also watches our podcast, which I love. But there's a game they have called International.
Where in the world did these international fill in the blanks come from?
Yeah, so
it's the dart game.
It's the dart game that they have where you have like a map of the world, and you have a dart, and you're trying to throw the dart to hit wherever you think the place is. So he put this whole thing together.
And the map is like 4 or 5 feet across. Like it's a big map.
It's a big map. But it was really fun. So we had 6 different types of chips for us to try. We got to try them all, try to guess kind of what the flavor was, and then throw it at the map to aim. The saddest part of it all is I was pretty spot on with all of my guesses, I would say. Like really spot on, kind of knew where they were from. My mom, no idea. Also cannot throw a dart to save her life, and she freaking won.
I know.
By like a couple of points.
Now you know how Link feels all the time, where he's like, I knew what it was, but I couldn't get it there.
No, he doesn't know as much as Rhett does.
That's true. Rhett's always right.
Yeah. But anyways, it was really, really fun. I was really proud and impressed by my tasting abilities.
Oh, yeah, that part. But what was awesome was that Sean put it together, and it worked so well.
It was so fun.
It was so cool. That was the highlight in terms of games all Christmas. And we still have the board. We're going to be using it again. Mm-hmm. Sean, one of the things he got us was this whole box full of international like chips and treats and stuff. So that'll be making its way onto the show here at some point.
I don't know that we'll do the darts, but
it'd be fun. It'd be fun.
I know. He's taking from someone else though.
Yeah, true. Truly stealing if we put it on the internet.
Yeah. Well, we might try all those things still.
Yeah. But it was a really, really, really good time. And shout out to Sean for making that happen.
So that was just a really fun part of Christmas. And we did Christmas with your mom and your sister and the doggo, the puppers.
And B, Brooklyn was there. It was all good times.
Yeah.
Good times. Wanted to let you know that since it's been so long since our last official episode, that this won't make a lot of sense. But we did get an email from Mark clarifying and correcting something we said.
FDR.
Yes.
Teddy
I was like,
Roosevelt,
I got to remember what this was. It feels like infinity ago.
Yeah.
Big stick ideology. Yep. Big stick
Teddy.
Diplomacy, big stick philosophy, or big stick policy refers to an aphorism said by the 26th president of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a big stick. Yeah. You will go far.
It's Teddy.
There's that part too. I don't know who we said it was.
I thought it was FDR, but FDR was the ABCs. He put a bunch of like the FDA. I don't know if the FDA. I have no idea. But he put a bunch
now
of
we're just making stuff
alphabet soup is what he did. He did like a bunch of different things that were all letters. Anyway.
Interesting. But either way, if you have any clarifying points, corrections, stories, unpopular opinions, you can always hit us up on Instagram at Hardly Working Insta, or you can email us directly at hardlyworkingfans@gmail.
Yes.
Speaking of unpopular opinions.
Is it time?
It's time, and it's been so long since we've done unpopular opinions.
I'm so excited.
Because we've had 10 episodes of Hardly Holidays.
I am so excited. Yeah.
If you are a new person coming to the show, welcome. It's good to be here with you, and thanks for jumping in. Had a lot of new people watching during Hardly Holidays, so if this is your first official Hardly Working, it's good to have you here. Each and every week, we take a look at unpopular opinions and discuss them, as well as go through some wild, wacky, and offbeat stories that we've pulled from the news and the internet. And so today is just like that, with some unpopular opinions. We put them up for you to vote on, and then we talk about our feelings. Are you ready for the first one?
I am.
This one has something to do with you. Kind of. You'll understand.
With me.
Youngest children, a lot of the time, actually have it the worst. Now, you're the youngest, and I, too, am the youngest in my family. I am.
You are.
I have an older sister and 2 older brothers, and you have 2 older brothers.
I know. I would say that your experience is very different than my experience.
That's true. So, as the resident youngest in the family, do you have it the worst out of all the kids?
No.
Really? Because 80% of people say that the youngest actually has it the worst.
I don't think so. I also think it's dependent on your relationship with your family and your parents. I think in some ways it was the worst, in the sense that like I was always the one that got picked on because I was the youngest. So my brothers would pick on me.
Or like smash your teeth out with baseballs.
Yes, we've all heard that story. Or they were the ones who always would give me a tough time. I was really bad at math and science, like very, very bad. But I went to a math and science magnet from 5th grade up until the time I graduated high school. Go figure. And by
Didn't
really
work, I
bad,
guess.
I mean, I passed high school with like almost all A's and some B's. In my math and science classes, there were times where I did get D's for sure, but I made it up on my senior year.
Yeah, you did.
I hated math and science. My dad is very, very good at math and science. And so he would help me out with my math. And by help me out, I mean, like I'd go home and he'd be like, let me talk you through this equation and teach you how to do it. And my brothers would always be like, so spoiled. Like dad never helped me with homework like this. He's doing your homework for you, as I'm like crying because it's like 8:00 at night and I have to go to bed and I haven't finished my math homework because I don't know how to do it. And I'm trying so hard. And my dad's finally helping me. My brothers are giving me a hard time. So like, it just depends. But honestly, I feel like the middle children have it the best. The oldest children always are the ones who have it the worst because...
Sorry, Brooklyn.
Well, yeah, your parents are still trying to figure it out. So maybe a little bit more strict. They're trying to, figure out the balance. And I'm a family of 3. So by the time you get the middle child, it's like some of the rules for the first child still apply to the second child. And they're still pretty strict. And by the time the third child comes around and I'm the only girl, they're like, yeah, we can be a little bit more... lenient. And like also I was a girl and so they were like, my little girl.
I feel pretty
so
strongly
the same rules didn't apply for the boys as it did for the girls.
That makes sense. I feel strongly that, and I could be wrong when I experience it, but if and when we have a second kid, I feel pretty strongly that I'd want to raise that kid exactly
just about
the same way. I mean, we wouldn't split up and then get remarried
yeah.
to other people, but I mean, like, I think it'd be the same rules and
agree.
stuff.
Yeah.
We've always treated Brooklyn like a little human, like adult.
Yeah.
There's consequences and rules and different stuff, but most of the time, I don't know that I would change anything with another. Well, I don't know that I'd change very much with a second kid.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, honestly. But I think we're lucky in that,
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think that I have it the worst.
Well, I was the youngest as well, but it's kind of hard for me to think about it because there's my sister and I, and we're basically the same age, and we shared rooms together growing up for a long time. Like, it always felt like we were similar. We're within a year of, actually, I guess we're 13 months apart. Really, really close.
Yeah, but you're also, go ahead.
Well, I also have 2 older brothers who are older than both my sister and I.
Yeah.
And so we were a blended family as well. So I don't know if it really applied the same way that most kids have it, you know?
I was going to say, like, your older brothers weren't really in your life for that long.
No, I mean, they were from, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah.
94 to 2006 years, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. You're probably right. But, and at the same time, like, even though you and your sister's older, because you guys are so close in age and you were basically like the man of the house for your mom as time went on, because your dad,
he died
and your stepdad and your mom got divorced. So like, you kind of had to rise up and be the man of the house.
It's interesting.
For a weird lack of a better term. But you know what I mean?
Well, she used that phrase with me at some point. And I mean, by that, I was like, I was the one locking the doors and turning the lights off. It's not like I was
but if something
taxes.
needed to get moved or something needed to go up somewhere, something needed to be fixed, it probably was going to be you.
You know what's interesting though is I remember taking a lot of pride in being like the man of the house, which I'm not making any type of gender normative stance on it.
Yeah.
But I used to be like, this is cool. And then as I got older, I was like, this is not cool.
This is not what I want to do.
I just want to be the kid of the house.
Yeah.
But so I guess I just didn't have a typical youngest experience.
Yeah, that's okay.
But to clarify, you think that the youngest don't have it the hardest?
No, I do not think that we have it the hardest. I think we have the easiest.
Well, then it would be an unpopular opinion.
I know,
for you.
it's weird that
20%
or 80% of people said that they did. I understand in some ways because sometimes parents learn and then they become more tough. As we stated in Hardly Holidays, I'm the favorite of the family, Ryan and Sean. Just kidding. But I'm the only girl and I have a really good relationship with my mom and my dad, and I have a great relationship with my brothers now. But like, I never felt that way. I felt probably how Brooklyn feels. I felt like equals with not equals. That's a terrible.
Yeah, I hope our 8-year-old doesn't feel like an equal.
But I felt like a person with my mom and my dad.
Important.
I didn't feel like I was a kid. Yeah, there are consequences to your actions, things like that. But like my mom has been like my friend, like we're friends now. And we talk to each other that way. And we have probably since I was like in middle school on.
It's good.
So I don't know. I think that makes it easier.
Good.
But I was also a pretty for the most part a good kid. Like I remember my brothers getting yelled at, specifically Sean, for like bad grades in high school and stuff, you know, or like he was like a hardcore, I don't know how much my parents know. He's a hardcore partier. You know, he would go out and party with like the football team and he was in a fraternity. He's 7 years older than me. So he's in a fraternity and still living at the home and like would have parties there. That just wasn't me. I wasn't throwing parties like that. If I was throwing parties, it was like, we're having like my Christian life group over.
Oh man.
We're making s'mores and reading books. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like a party with alcohol and smoking or any of that type of stuff. So
different
experiences. I don't know.
Well, let's move on.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
From childhood to dating.
Oh, perfect.
Neither of us is actively dating for the most part.
I'm actively dating you.
Yeah, that's true. So here's the unpopular opinion. You can tell me if you think it's right or not. It is, you should never ask someone on a date why they broke up with an ex or why they're still single. I will say that 79% agreed with this. That while you're on a date, you should never ask a person about their ex or why they're still single. I understand the second part a little bit more than the first. I think we've talked about
something similar.
You know, it was like a libido style question.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also quite possible in the 35 or so episodes we've done.
I don't think that that's inappropriate. I think that is appropriate.
I think that's the point.
Yeah. Aren't you trying to get to know the person? And one of the biggest things that you would want to know about is the way they do relationships. And the easiest way to learn that is to be like, hey, why did you and your ex, or how long were you together with your ex?
Right.
Like what made you guys break up?
Historically speaking, I did this very poorly in our relationship, learning about your former lives. And so do you think maybe it's more like that? Like it's the way that someone goes about it rather than the question itself?
Yeah. Yes.
And do you think that most people have the maturity or ability to have conversations about not just the person they're meeting and their exes, but it's probably going to come back to them that they have to discuss it as well? Do you think that a lot of people can have that conversation?
I think it just depends on the person and how much they've worked on themselves, how much therapy they've gone through. I can only speak in terms of me and you and people that I know, but I can really me. So I can look at it and go, when we started dating, talking about my exes was very hard. There's a lot of baggage there. There's a lot of trauma that comes with that. And that time specifically when you'd ask me questions, but I wasn't at a good enough place. I hadn't dealt with certain things on my own to be able to like articulate what my experience was or why we really broke up or like what I had gone through, any of those things after going through therapy, after growing in my communication styling from like work and from being married to you and from therapy. Like I feel like I would do a much better job now if you asked me. I'd be like, yeah, I can talk about it. But I think it comes with time and age. So I think I would say people that are dating in their early 20s probably aren't going to have a good grasp on how to articulate relationship stuff and might even be upset if people were to ask. Although our society is changing a lot and the way that people date now and do things is very different than even 10 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting. People are more in touch and more in tune with their emotions and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I do think it is all in the way it's being presented to you, how it's being asked. And honestly, your openness and willingness. Like, are you going on a date because you want a long-term relationship? Or are you going on a date? I don't know what I can and can't say because you want a booty call. Like, what is it?
It's because I'm going on dates for booty calls.
It sounds right. Just kidding. But you know what I mean? Because if you're on that type of date, then you're probably not going to want to get into your ex. But if you're on a
dampen the mood.
Yeah. If you're on a date where you're like, yeah, like I'm really looking for a partner, then it's a healthy like conversation to have.
Okay. So I think
There's a lot of words.
Well, I just think that we're on the same page with that part. The second part of this though is it says, or why they're still single. And to me, that feels harder. Different. It kind of feels like, when a future employer is like, what's this gap on your resume?
Yeah.
Explain to me why, this is my achiever. Explain to me why you weren't good enough for this season.
Yeah.
To have a job or a partner or whatever. Partner.
Yeah. There's only a couple good excuses for that, just so you know.
For being single?
Yeah.
There's only a couple good excuses for being single.
Well, good reasonings in my mind.
You mean
brain.
Like answers to that question?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you're like, everyone should be together unless you're these three types.
There's only a couple good, because there are some things that you could say that would be automatic red flags.
Like what?
Like,
I murdered my last boyfriend?
No, like I think about there are girls out there that would probably be like, well, no one's just met my expectations, which is very healthy.
Sometimes.
But if you've been not in a relationship for many years, but while actively searching for one, that tells me that maybe there's something that you need to be working on. Doesn't mean that you need to lower your expectations, but maybe there's something wrong with you. You need to get into some therapy.
Wrong is an interesting choice of words.
I know it's not quite wrong. Something that you have to work through is what I initially said.
Yeah, see, here's what I think the difference is here. Holding for trash cans again.
Trash can,
It's a big trash day today.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between the questions of like, tell me about your exes. I don't know. Like, what's your dating life been like versus why are you still single are different. Because one is like, I'm just trying to get a feel for like who you are and like what your life has been like versus like, why are you single right now? There's at least to me, there's a little bit of like an accusatory undertone.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you with someone?
Yeah, but yeah. But
I think that's a different type of question.
For sure. But we talk about this all the time. You have to find someone that matches your weird. So if this person is single and they've been single for a while, like does that weird, whatever reason, and not in a bad way, but does their weird of why ever they're single match your weird of maybe why you've been in multiple relationships or maybe you've been single? I have no idea.
Yeah. Because I want someone to go to Comic-Con with.
Yeah.
And I've never met that person.
Yeah.
Until I find someone who matches my weird. We both like dressing up and doing cosplay.
Yeah, but there are things that I think make sense. Like I've been focusing on school, or my job, my career, really focusing on that. And like, it's been a crazy season. I don't feel like I've been able to give to anybody. It's been a season of working on myself. I've been in lots of therapy. I'm working through my past trauma, blah, whatever.
All these are really healthy answers.
I know.
And I really don't know if people are in this position of health.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, but if you're active, I don't know.
I think we discovered that we are not an authority on this.
Yeah, I'm not. I've never really dated that way.
What do you mean? Like where you talk about exes and stuff?
I mean, no, we've done that.
We have. But for me, I was dating in a, much like I would assume most people, like a similar pool of people.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It wouldn't be like, well, who is?
Like, we've never done the blind dating thing or the...
Not yet.
Or the...
like app dating?
Yeah, like online dating. Or like gone to a bar to try to meet somebody type of dating. That's just not the way that we've done that. We grew up, or rather learned how to date in a church setting.
Yeah, and I think that's probably, I'm going to guess, normal for most people who grow up religiously.
Yeah.
Is that there's kind of this expectation of like, if there's a place that you go to once, maybe even twice or more a week, where you know that everyone there has the same fundamental values and beliefs as you, that's pretty much the pool you're going to be pulling from.
Yeah, it's same thing when you're in hie school. Like, you pull from the people that you go to school with. You're not probably going to date somebody outside of your high school unless you're in a sport that you're doing that with, or at a church activity, or in a somewhat religious.
So no one's going to be like, why'd you stop dating Kevin? And be like, I know why you did, because Kevin's a dick or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's not a real Kevin.
No. When you say that we're not an authority figure on this, I would kind of agree. We've never experienced that way. I have talked to my brother about this though, because he's done like the online dating and a couple different things. It's always interesting to hear him talk about stuff. And I won't talk too much about it because it's his life. But he does ask, not necessarily this question, but he does ask very good questions when he's on dates. And I think that's good, because people like that probably want to, or at least I know for him, like he wants to know that he can have a conversation with you about something more than how was your day, Like, can you guys meet each other on like that type of level where you get deep and you talk about stuff? And yeah, I think it's an important question, a necessary question, because here's the deal. Life's too short. And I want to get to, if we weren't together and I was dating, I would want to get to know the person as quickly as possible. I don't want to waste my time on somebody that, I don't know, him and his ex aren't together anymore because he cheated on her.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then this is probably not the relationship for me.
Yeah.
But you seem like a cool dude. Good luck.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fair. We got time for one more if you want to do it.
Sorry.
No, it's just like we could keep going in this, but
let's go. Yeah, one more. We can do the next one.
Third and final one here before we get into some stories. This one changing it up a little bit.
Okay.
Getting out of the realm of dating.
Thank goodness.
Out of the realm of family and children.
Thank goodness.
And into the realm of television. This one is 20 plus episodes per season / weekly releases of episodes were better.
Yeah.
Than all at once.
Yeah.
Okay. come back in time with me, though. Remember the first time, it's probably Netflix, someone in your life was like, oh, the new season of the show you like? Here's all the episodes.
Yeah.
Go crazy. Remember how great that was?
Yeah.
And they still do it. They did it with Wednesday. I'm sure they probably do it with most of Bridgerton. I don't know about this upcoming season. But it's pretty much what apps do right now. Streamers do.
Yeah.
They're like, here's the whole thing. And that was awesome. But now you're telling me that once a week was better.
Here's the deal. 20 season episodes. Oh my
20
goodness.
episode seasons.
20 episode seasons. So great.
Really?
Yeah.
There's so much filler in those type of seasons.
I know, but I want the filler. I want the filler. I want the storyline. I want the side storylines. I want it all. I can't get enough. And unless there are some TV shows that can do it really, really well with 6 to 10, but I think that's not everything. That's far and few between. Is that the right?
Few and far.
Few and far between. But like I look back and I go, Gilmore Girls. They have like 20 episode season. It's so great. They're only half hour, or no, I guess they're 45 minutes. But like so great. And when I rewatch it now, I have tons and tons of content to get through, and it doesn't really get boring. Obviously, I know it very, very well, so I'm like, oh, I know what this episode is. But it still surprises me sometimes. It gets exciting. Bones.
Oh my gosh,
I love that show. Most of the seasons are 20 episodes until you get to the later ones, and it's like 12. I think the last one. So great. Nowadays, you look at it, you go Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
8 seasons. Bridgerton. 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Bridgerton. 6 to 8 episodes.
Stranger Things.
6 to 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Like it's great. And also, it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is but I want more.
Yeah, and I just don't know that we're going to go back. We have already seen people do, episodes once a week or whatever, which I think for streamers is genius because it keeps people there.
Yeah.
Like I have to finish Bridgerton, so I'll be here for 2 months.
Yeah.
Rather than all at once and then cancel. But I don't know that we're ever going back to 20 episode seasons and stuff because the world has changed.
For sure. And here's what I'll say to that, though. I will say this, is that while I miss them, I agree with you. I don't think they'll come back. And I'm kind of happy because what I have noticed and what I do see is that instead of getting 20 episodes that like are all really good, like I look at Gilmore Girls and I go, it's all really great. And obviously it got better as it went on, but it was really great. But they didn't have they probably had the same budget in terms of time, that Wednesday has. But the production of Wednesday is so great.
Right. Because
instead of making 20 episodes, they're making 8 like insane small movies. Do you know what I mean? Every episode. Yeah. Same thing with Bridgerton. It's 6 to 8 like movies. Loki, it's 6 to 8 movies.
I would say in terms of the quality, but like Loki's a good example because there's like, we've been listening to a conversation with these two people eating a slice of pie for like 10 minutes.
That's true.
Which I enjoy, like specifically that scene. I like that. But also sometimes it's like, if this had to be more condensed, like we'd cut this out and it'd be paced differently.
Yeah.
And sometimes I miss the pacing.
Yeah. So it just depends. I do like being able to rewatch shows that have more episodes.
Oh yeah, comfort shows.
Yeah, and I would say like I personally I think 6 to 8 is too short. I would rather give me like a 12.
12 seems like a sweet spot.
12 seems like a really good spot because I'm like it's just enough. It feels good. It gives me a lot. 20 feels too long. 6 feels too short.
I will say, I don't understand some of these reality shows. How is Guys Grocery Games on season 56? Not really, but honestly, it's over 30 seasons.
Yeah, it's 10.
And every season has like 20 episodes. And I get it. They can shoot maybe 3, maybe 5, but at least 3 episodes a day. But still, like, that's a lot of content.
It's a lot. It's
great.
That's
crazy.
It's cool.
And Guy Fieri for everything. That's my stance on it. I did like the longer seasons, a little bit longer. But like I said, I don't think we're ever going backwards because TV shows, we might as well call them streaming shows now. Like they're not on television. And you don't need 20 episodes to fill up half of the year.
Yeah.
Because you're not depending on commercials for half of the year to come in your network for Big Bang Theory or whatever it is to pay for the show. Yeah. So interesting. So would you prefer the 20 episodes? I guess that's where we started.
I guess the other part of this is that some you can't compare apples to oranges. Like Friends, a condensed 30-minute episode or 30-minute time slot, so like 25 minutes. I want 20 episodes in a season.
Sure.
Because I want more. I don't want just 25 minutes of a show for 6 episodes. That's what, 3 hours? That's not enough. But the hour-long shows, I'm like, yeah, I could get away with like 12.
I'm going to do a game with you because that's a fun idea. I'm going to take all the seasons of Friends, and we're going to say that they can only be 8 episodes a season.
Oh my
And then you'll have to
gosh.
delete like 12 and rank
But
the
you
remaining
can't
8.
do that.
I understand because one might take away from the overarching
Arching,
plot,
yeah.
but probably not per season.
Yeah, we could do that.
We're going to do a very special
But
episode.
when you get to the later seasons, it's harder to do that because they all kind of intertwine. Like once they go
Just
to London.
wait till I go to Bones.
But once they go to London, you know, and then it
Yeah.
does all the things, it becomes more difficult to take them out. Bones, I'll do Bones.
You think you could get Bones down
Well, Bones,
to 8 30-minute episodes? I'm just kidding. That'd
They're
be insane.
hour-long
I know. You have to
episodes.
cut some in half. Actually, you can only pick 4. That's the rule.
no. You have
That'd be insane.
no. Give me 8 to 12. We could cut it down.
We could do that. Well, we got a little bit of time, just enough time for some stories.
Okay.
The first story is a story, but the second story, I've been waiting for it. I've had this story for a few months,
Okay.
but I just haven't had the mechanism to deliver the story to you.
Okay.
But I think all of that changes today.
Okay. I'm ready.
So we'll start with that one. If we have enough time to do the next one, we'll do that one too.
Okay.
Okay, so this story, which now is turned into not just a story, but a game, is from the article entitled Meet the Extraordinary Animals That Work for a Living.
Okay.
So I found this article months ago about animals that like do jobs.
And you've just held on to it?
I have, and I gamified it now.
Okay. I'm ready. I was
So-
wondering why that was up there. All right.
Yes. So I'm going to give you the environment or scenario or whatever, and you're going to have to try to guess what animal does that
Got
job.
it.
Okay?
Okay.
Here's the first one. Librarians. This library in Portugal has 2 small colonies of honorary librarians that have been there since the 18th century. The job, they feed on book-eating insects that could potentially damage the library's precious collection.
Okay. First initial blink was cats, and then you
Okay.
said small colonies, and so I went rats or mice.
Okay. So I wouldn't fall too in love with the phrases that I use because
Okay.
I've changed them to be a little bit more ambiguous.
Okay.
You're on the right track, but it is neither of those animals. You can do one more guess, or I can let you know what
So
it
it's
is.
not cats and it's not mice.
It's not cats and
Or
it's
rats,
not mice.
mice,
I was going to
rats.
say the cats are probably taking care of the rats.
Yeah, no,
but
that's why I
No,
was
it's
like-
neither.
Has 2 small honorary librarians that have been there
eating
since the
bugs.
18th century. Eating bugs. What eats bugs other than mice and rats? I don't know.
It is
Yeah.
coming up on the screen right now.
Sure it is. Oh, bats.
Bats.
That makes
Yes.
sense. I was like, they would have had to be around for a long time, so it couldn't be like cats and dogs. Okay.
Right.
Dang.
These same cats. Bats librarians in Portugal.
Dang.
So be careful. The next one is near and dear
Okay.
to your family.
Okay.
Electricians.
Aw.
These animals are, if you want to be polite, inquisitive. If you want to be blunt, they're nosy little devils. When you put them in any opening, they want to go through and see what's on the other end. Their job, to pull wires and cabling through small openings
Cats.
that humans cannot get through.
Cats.
Final answer?
Cats.
It is not cats. It is ferret electricians.
Oh my goodness. Ferrets.
They put these harnesses on ferrets
Yeah.
and attach wires and just put them in a hole.
Makes sense. Yeah, they'll go through it.
I talked to your dad about this, who is an electrician.
Did he say that he's had know someone that's done this?
He said that he saw some electrician, I think using dogs. It might have been cats. I think it was dogs to go to the other end.
That makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
Ferrets is genius. Have you ever seen a video of a ferret?
And they're so fast and they can get through anything.
They're like a land octopus.
Yeah, I
They're
guess
like
it-
made out of nothing.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a cat because a cat would just like lay down in the middle of the walkway and be like, I'm done.
Couldn't get it to go through.
Yeah. No.
All right, next up.
One of these answers will be cats.
Winemakers. In South Africa, shout out to Shim, pest control on grapevines is the responsibility of 1,000 of these flying animals. The job
Flying.
is eating snails, aphids, and worms to protect the wine grapes.
Before you said flying, I was going to guess monkeys. But
Monkeys?
Don't.
Thousands of monkeys making wine?
I didn't get to the thousands a part of
Okay,
it. I
okay.
just went initially. I was like, maybe monkeys. Okay, thousands of these flying animals, and you're not repeating, so it can't be bats again.
It cannot be bats.
Flying animals.
And it's also not a broad category like
it's like birds.
Birds.
It's like a very specific. But is it a bird?
It is a bird.
But it has to be a specific type of bird.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like the red-chested booby. Google it. It's real. No, it's going to be like a bird that you know.
Like a duck.
Like a duck.
Is it a duck?
It's a duck. Why am I making ducks?
Oh my goodness.
Thousands of ducks.
Dang.
Eating all those.
That makes sense.
Also, I didn't include it in here, but there's like in the same wineries. Ugh, I'm glad I didn't do this. Not only do they have ducks working for them,
okay,
but they have spiders.
Oh, no.
Because in the cellar where they store the wine, they have, instead of like, imagine a big giant chandelier.
Yeah.
It's a big giant cobweb. Because the spiders live in there and they eat the insects that would potentially damage the seals of the wine.
Oh.
So they don't do anything about it. They just let them live in there.
Smart.
Gross.
I wouldn't do it. Have fun, guys.
Now, this may be the last one. I don't remember. But these are bouncers, just like at a nightclub. You can see this bird in the UK at King's Cross Station working as a type of bouncer. Its job, to deter and keep away the pigeon population that, quote, carry horrendous amounts of bacteria and parasites, and when wet, become very slippery. I don't know why they had to add
pigeons
that.
do?
Yeah, the pigeons do.
I mean, that would be a dog.
It is not a dog.
It's bird in the UK. You literally said bird.
I did.
I've been here to King's Cross Station. Pigeons.
It's keeping away pigeons.
Oh. It's a bird that's keeping away pigeons.
What would a pigeon be afraid of?
An owl.
That is a great guess and a very
fitting
Hogwarts guess.
For
It's
King's
not
Cross.
though. It's a hawk.
That's
Hawk bouncer. So people with those big gloves on.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I can't remember.
An
what it's
owl
called.
would have been, like you said, fitting for Harry Potter and fitting for this episode.
It would have. Too bad. It is not happening.
Is that the last one?
That is the last of our animal friends.
That was fun.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I'm glad I saved it.
Yeah. That's good.
Good. Okay. And it was way more fun than just telling you the story.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Well,
Awesome.
this is a good episode.
Oh, thanks.
And you're welcome.
Starting off the new year strong.
Yeah, we are.
It's all downhill from here.
No.
Well, let me give you one more story before we end our episode for today. And stick around in a couple days. We've got Hardly Working Through It, the show after the show, where we dig into life, love, and labor.
Yeah.
But I got one more thing for you. Do you... this one's tricky but fun too.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you. I'm not going to make you guess.
Okay.
Here's the title. A psychologist describes a new phobia on the rise.
Okay.
It's called nomophobia.
Nomophobia.
You're
you got
welcome.
no more of it. No more fears.
I kid you
Fear
not.
of having fears.
The first part of that stems from that. No more. And it's not no more phobias. Nomophobias. What do you think it could be?
No.
No more phone. To be without your phone.
Oh, that's a phobia.
Nomophobia.
Wow.
Now, rather than give you all the details about this, what's great about this article is it gives you a list of if you're experiencing this, you have
let's
it.
see.
So I figured we'll go through and we'll see if we too
Put a
have
finger down. Just kidding.
nomophobia. So there's two lists. We'll start with the first one. It goes 1 through 9. It says this: to use the self-report measures, individuals rate each statement on a scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. For me, why don't we do... What do you want to say? Just yes, no, or middle, right?
Okay.
Oh, you're getting a whiteboard and everything?
Yeah, I mean.
All right, first one. Holding for Kelly. All right, first one. I would feel uncomfortable without constant access to information through my smartphone. No, I agree. Number 2.
So is that 0 or 1?
Let's go 1 to 5. So that would be 0. 1 to 5. Yeah, so that'd be a 1. That's a 1 for both of us. Number 2, I would be annoyed if I could not look up information on my smartphone when I wanted to do so. That's like a 4 for me.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty high up for me too.
3, being unable to get the news, happenings, weather, all that kind of stuff on my smartphone would make me nervous.
No.
Not even in the mornings when you're about to leave and you ask the weather?
That's what Alexa's for.
I think that's the same thing.
No, that's what the news is for. You can go to the news.
It says news here.
Yeah.
to get
But
the
you can go to the
news.
TV to get the news.
We don't go to the TV.
I know this is saying smartphone. I can still ask Alexa stuff. She's not a smartphone.
I think it counts.
Okay, I'm going to give myself a 2 there.
Give me a 2 as well, please. Okay. Next, I would be annoyed if I could not use my smartphone and or its capabilities when I wanted to do so.
No,
5.
like a...
If I wanted to use my phone for something but couldn't, that would be hard. If I wanted to text Brooklyn or call you.
I'll give it a
You'd
3.
be like, I want to call my husband, but I'm fine.
Well,
really?
I don't know. I mean, I guess what you're saying, I read it more as like, if I don't have it all the time, like that's fine.
No, that's not it. It's I want to use my phone now, but I can't.
I'm going to do a 4.
Okay. 6. If I were to run out of credits or hit my monthly data limit, I would panic. So for us, since we have unlimited, I guess it would be if we had to not text. I don't know. It doesn't work for that
I don't
one.
know.
I wouldn't panic though. If I had limits, I'd just put a 3 for me, somewhere in the middle. What's it for you?
2.
Number 7, if I did not have a data signal or could not connect to Wi-Fi, then I would constantly check to see if I had a signal or could connect to Wi-Fi.
Depends. Am I in the middle of nowhere trying to save myself?
That comes up later. I think this is more general.
So I'm going to say like a 1. I'm going to check it. If I don't have service, I don't have service. And I'm going to say
give me at least a 2 on that.
I don't have service until I'm in somewhere different.
Number 8, if I could not use my smartphone, I would be afraid of getting stranded somewhere. That's got to be a 5 for you, girl.
No, because this is the thing. You're thinking of like worst case scenarios. I'm thinking about a phone wherever I am. If I'm driving somewhere and all of a sudden my phone stopped working.
You're at SoFi Stadium. Just finished the Eras tour.
It's a 4.
Phone's dead.
It's a 4. I don't like this
It's a 3
game.
for me. It's because you have nomophobia.
No.
Number 9, if I could not check my smartphone for a while, I would feel a desire to check it.
We go through this. I'm going to say a 3.
Give me a 3. It just depends. Next up, we'll go quickly here.
Thank you.
If I did not have my smartphone with me, and then it's a list. So I don't have my smartphone with me. 1, I would feel anxious because I could not instantly communicate with my family or friends.
No.
If you left the house without your phone, you wouldn't feel anxious that you couldn't communicate with me and stuff? Put me down for a 4. Girl, I'm about to take your phone away.
Keep going.
Number 2, I would be worried because my family and friends could not reach me. That's a 4 for me as well. What's it for you?
I'll give it a 4 just because you're giving it a 4.
Well, now I've got my mom.
Yeah. Keep going.
I've got Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Number 3, I would feel nervous because I would not be able to receive text messages and calls. That's kind of the same thing for me. 4.
It's 2 different things for me.
Next, I would be anxious because I could not keep in touch with my family and or friends. That's like a 2. I'm more anxious about someone texting me and me not responding than me reaching out to someone.
Okay.
What's yours?
A 2.
Number 5, I would be nervous because I could not know if someone had tried to get a hold of me.
I don't care about that.
Me either. Put me down for a 1. Number 6, I would feel anxious because my constant connection to my family and friends would be broken.
That is a 5 for you.
No, it's more like a 3 because if it's a normal day and I'm already with you, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Number 7, I would be nervous because I would be disconnected from my online identity.
Oh,
that's
like
a
0.
1 for me. Yeah.
Doesn't
Well, I mean, there is
exist.
no
Yeah, I know
0. It's a 1 for sure. All right, just 4 left. I would be uncomfortable because I could not stay up to date with social media and online networks.
Don't care.
That's a 1 for me. Number 9, I would feel awkward because I could not check my notifications for updates from my connections in online networks.
1.
1 for me. 2 questions left. I would feel anxious because I could not check my email messages.
But that's not fair.
It is.
Because you have a computer to check your email messages.
I know.
And so we use our phone as our working device. But if you took my phone away, then I would just check my email like a normal person on my computer.
I'm going to give this a 4 because we're not always on our computer. And computers only connect on Wi-Fi usually when you're at your house and stuff. Here's the deal. I had to move my mail app because I opened it so much.
I know.
So I know it's high. I don't want to give it a 5 high, but 4 is good. All right, last one, 11. I would feel weird because I would not know what to do. That's an interesting question.
I'm going to say 1.
Would I not know what to do? No, I'm going to give that a 1. I mean, if you're in the waiting room of a doctor's office and you got no
read
reception.
the magazines that they used to have there.
I don't touch anything in a doctor's office
You just
anymore. All right. Let me just, as you tally that up, I'll read the last two paragraphs of this to see if it gives us any clarity. The questionnaire covers 4 different fear factors of nomophobia: inability to communicate, loss of connection, inaccessibility of information, and giving up convenience. Recognizing these patterns within oneself could be the first step towards a healthier relationship with technology and a better understanding of one's own digital habits. In conclusion, identifying and addressing nomophobia is crucial, not only for our mental health, but also for society at large. I agree with that. Consider taking a moment to reflect on these statements. Blah, 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 blah,
Okay,
blah,
what was
blah,
the
blah.
what, like, did they give you scoring? Like, if you're
Right. That's what I was looking for right here. It does not seem to give us a scoring, but there was 20 questions in total, with 20 times 5 is the highest possible
so
answer.
100.
So 20 to 100. The lowest would be 20 and the highest would be 100.
Okay.
Where did we fall?
You're 49
Oh, right in the middle.
and I'm at 45.
Oh, we're pretty similar.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you addicted to your phone? Are you listening or watching us on your phone right now? Would you freak out if your phone disappeared? I don't know.
Take the test. Find out for
Take the test. Link in our bio. There's no link in our bio.
no link in our
There's
bio.
no link in our bio. That's it for the first episode of the year. Before we get to hardly working through it in just a few days, anything you're looking forward to coming up here?
We have a friend in town. I'm excited to see her.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
And honestly, it's been really nice that everything's been so slow these last couple of days weeks, days. So I'm looking forward to getting back in the swing of stuff. Brooklyn's birthday is this month too, which I'm sure we'll talk about later down the line. But
it's a whole thing already.
that's kind of it. I'm really looking forward to going home today and just hanging with you.
I'll tell you what I'm not looking forward to is Brooklyn going back to school.
Yeah, me either.
I love vacation with
We got
my
a
kids.
whole week of that next week.
I know it's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to a whole new year of hardly working with you.
Me
I
too.
love ya.
I love you too.
And we love you guys. We'll see you in just a few days on Hardly Working Through It, where we talk about the tough question of, do resolutions even matter?
Yeah.
What's the point of resolutions?
We'll talk about it then.
So whether you've got one or you need one, you're going to hear all about them in just a few days on Hardly Working Through It. But until then, have a wonderful week, and I hope that you spend most of it hardly working. Bye.
Bye.